In September of 2017, Minecraft rebranded a large part of its game and called it Bedrock Edition. All consoles, handheld, and some PC users still play that version to this day. There are some unique differences to Java. Harder boss fights, no delayed hits, weird jumping and running animations? Sure, why not? But if you were to combine Bedrock Edition alongside the PlayStation 5, then you get yourself a unique set of achievements called trophies. So I set myself a challenge. Can I get all 127 trophies in PlayStation 5 Minecraft within 100 days? If you go on to enjoy the video, then please consider giving it a like, and if you could go ahead and check out that subscribe button too. I'm getting still close to 200k and would love to hit that by the end of the year. Alright, let's do this. So, let's do this. Getting wood, taking inventory, melons, benchmarking, time to mine, time to strike, very easy trophies to get right off the bat. I found a not so sunken ship where I got myself a treasure map, and right next to it is a village on a lonesome island. It will be the perfect place to set up shop, so of course I did. I did have to steal a bed for the night. Sorry guys. Now a couple of things to note on day 2. As I mentioned, I'm playing on the PlayStation 5, meaning I'm playing on a controller playing Minecraft for the first time in about 10 years. So if you see me messing around in the inventories or the menus, that would be why. Secondly, though Minecraft does have 127 trophies, some of them actually can be only obtained in Legacy Edition, which is an old version of Minecraft which I wasn't able to obtain on the PlayStation 5. I realized this pretty quickly, and so the plan of actually being able to platinum this game is impossible within 100 days, but we'll still see about getting every other trophy. I'd like to point out that there is a trophy for passing the time, aka surviving 100 days, and that will be the cutoff to when I survive 100 days. That should hopefully be the last trophy that I get. Out of the 127 trophies that are available on Minecraft PlayStation 5, 109 of them are obtainable in the version that I am playing, so the goal is to get all of them. Let's focus on the other 108 for now. So I got myself an upgrade, found myself a buried treasure where I got myself a Heart of the Sea. I did grab some more dirt for a platform just because I want to be able to grow some trees on my island. Though to do that I will need to get myself some saplings, so I headed to the mainland, and there is another village over here. That might be useful later. I also got monsters hunted this time, so that's pretty good. I set up the dirt platform on day 3 and started planting the saplings, and then I went looking for a service cave. Now if you're a fellow Java player like myself, then you would think finding a service cave wouldn't be a problem. However, the Bedrock boys don't get service caves for whatever reason. I don't know why. There's also a pillager outpost really close by. That'll be useful later. Also, there's a desert temple over here that had a few more diamonds. Weirdly enough, picking the diamond out of the chest doesn't actually give you the diamond achievement. You actually have to pick up the diamond from the floor, which is a little bit weird, but hey, we move on. That pretty much summed up day 3. And with no surface caves on day 4, I began to dig down. I found myself some iron along the way that I needed to cook up, and another easy trophy was obtained where a wandering trader showed up. This has got to be the worst wandering trader I have ever seen. Look at these trades. Like, pumpkin seeds were the best thing. Pumpkin seeds! They were the best thing on here. That's crazy. Enough of that. Get out of here.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I also acquired hardware. That's what she said. By day 5, I had 12 trophies to my name, so that's about 10% done, or 97 trophies left to get. You know what, I prefer to say 10%. I did find a lowish cave, but honestly, there really wasn't anything in here whatsoever. The weird thing is that I actually got shot by a skeleton, and that gave me the Iron Man achievement for wearing a full suit of iron armor. Now, why I didn't get that when I put on the iron armor last night, I don't know. I also decided to make myself a clock. I find it really useful to keep track of the days this way as well. Other than gathering some more food, heading to the village, and baking some bread, I didn't really do much this day either. And so on day 6, after making myself some diamond tools, I headed back underground. And so I went underground, found myself some lava pools, and then I started mining some obsidian. I got myself enough for a portal and an enchanting table, and on day 7 I made that enchanting table. But unfortunately, I didn't have any lapis. Can't believe I forgot that. So it was back underground to go and get myself some. I actually got myself a few extra diamonds this day, which was quite nice, but sadly there was no lapis to be found. Overall, I'd say things were going great, so at least for now we can head up and set up that Nether portal.
Nice.
I thought making diamond armor would get me a trophy on day 8. I was wrong. Though I did get a trophy for lighting the Nether portal. That was called Into the Nether, despite the fact I haven't gone into the Nether. That being said, I went straight to the Nether straight afterwards. And what you need to know about my streams is that occasionally I will activate luck.exe, which means I get really lucky at random moments in the game. As you can see the effects of luck.exe right in our faces as I spawn next to a fortress, which is pretty damn good. But without enchants, I'm nowhere near ready for some fortress shenanigans, so let's head back home. I went back into the caves looking for some more lapis because, you know, enchants. Took me no time at all to actually find myself a pretty big vein of lapis, so I can enchant easy with this stuff. I did also pick up a couple of extra ores along the way, but honestly, nothing special. The other thing that I would like on day 9 is arrows, and so I went out looking for chickens. And that's when I saw my first trident boy. I'll need a trident for potentially up to 3 trophies here, so I will try and get that. That being said, it doing 9.5 hearts and 2 hits is absolutely crazy. It's fine, I just gotta be careful. I'll attack him from behind and I'm dead. Cool. And again. And again. And he didn't even drop the bloody thing. Well, alright then. Anyway, let's go back to hunting chickens. Along the way of hunting chickens on day 10, I actually got myself a pretty decent enchanted bow from a skeleton, so I can't complain that much. So, we have a fortress to search. Editor, make sure to cut out me shooting the gas. No, editor, please, no. I look terrible right now. Editor, cut it out, cut it out. No, cut it out! Right then. Next up, the script says, Death Montage number 1. What the hell does that? Well, I think we can all agree by day 13 that that was terrible. Lucky for me, I got everything that I needed, so it's time for me to head out. I also ate a pork chop, a very worthwhile trophy, I know. Just like how you can cheese making potions by not actually making a potion, you could just put a water bottle into a brewing stand, and then you could just take the water bottle out, and it gives you the trophy for brewing potions. Cool, I know. And then after taking a quick look at the trophy list, something that I should have done probably from day 1 is I made myself a sign, and then I cooked myself a fish. And then on day 15, wait, 50? What happened to 40? So another problem that Bedrock has is that there's no easy way for me to track any day whatsoever. At least there wasn't a way that I could figure out how to do so. I was having to manually track the days myself. Unfortunately, I am not perfect and I do occasionally make the mistakes. You'll see much more mistakes as we go along. For now, I need to go over to the jungle and get myself some bamboo. I need to get myself some scaffolding for a trophy. I did have to sacrifice the sword to do it, but some things are worth the trophy. Now, as I mentioned, I was still aiming to kill the dragon as quick as humanly possible, but I realized a quick and easy way to speed that process up is to get myself 2 different enchants, looting and fortune. And the quickest way for me to do that, I think we can all agree, is to do some classic villager manipulation. So let's get on that. It took me up until the next day to get fortune 3. Also, pot planter, nice. Now I will need to get myself some emeralds so we can get on that soon. For now, I need to take myself a bath. Even got a trophy for it, as well as holding a fish into a bucket. And now we could trade some sticks. I was about a third way done at this point, which was a good start. And then ran over to the mainland to get myself some more wood. So for one reason or another, on day 17, the 32 sticks that you normally trade had upgraded until 41. Not sure why, but hey, we'll move on. I also at this point set myself up a bamboo farm. Like I say, I need scaffolding and I do need a little bit more bamboo to get that done. And then yet again returned back to the mainland to grab myself even more wood. I was able to get myself enough emeralds for the fortune book, and I was also able to trade 30 emeralds, which means I got myself a new achievement. And there it is, the fortune free book. Sadly though, on day 18, I do not have enough iron for an anvil, so I need to dig down again. To be honest with you, it didn't take any time at all for me to get the iron that I needed, so I got myself back up, cooked up all the iron, made myself an anvil, and put fortune free on my pickaxe. Honestly, pretty good day. And I think we can all agree on day 19, there is no point in having a fortune pickaxe if you're not going to use it. So, let's go mining. I went to strip mining where I very quickly found myself some diamonds, and then I found myself a few more diamonds along the day during this caving trip. It was honestly a nice and simple, quick caving trip where I got myself quite a few diamonds, all things considered. By the time I got up on day 20, I had 27 diamonds to my name, which definitely makes a really good caving trip if I do say so myself. Made myself full diamonds, did a little bit of trading, and I will make mention of 2 things here. Firstly, I am starving myself because I need to get myself a trophy for starving myself, and secondly, I would like to get looting now. But for one reason or another, all the villagers in this village have just seemed to vanish. I'm not really sure why. It turns out that they took a vacay into the Nether and I wasn't invited. They made it clear when they asked the locals to take me out, and let's be honest, it nearly worked too. I did try to get the villagers out of the Nether, but failed spectacularly, so I returned home and went to bed, where it was now day 21. Or it should be day 21. Just give it a second. Come on now. Wait, what was that? Sorry, what? Oh, I never updated the day counter on this day. Well, I guess we're still on day 20 then. I went over to that nearby village and trapped a new villager where I started trying to get the looting enchantment. I can sadly say on 20.2, yeah, this wasn't a good day for me. So a problem that I did keep getting on day 21 was the fact that the villagers would lock onto another trading block that was like 20 blocks away, and I had no idea how they was doing it. So I had to run around breaking all of the trading blocks that I could. Now I want to quickly point out that I am on half a hunch of hunger, which means as soon as that goes away, I I could eat the rotten flesh and get the trophy. So you can imagine how annoyed I was when this witch surprise attacked me, and yeah, that's definitely 10 minutes of my life I've just lost. I did finally update the counter until day 21, it's about time, and it was by night that I got myself a looting 1 trade. At this point, honestly, I'll take it, so let's head home. So after returning home on day 22, grabbing all my sticks and doing myself some trades, I headed back to the village. I got enough emeralds to do all the trades, but it was at this point that I realized I didn't bring a book with me.
Look at this dude.
I'll have to go back to my village and then back to the village like Bilbo friggin' Baggins! And it was on day 23 where I got myself the looting books. I made a diamond sword because let's be honest, I'm not putting it onto an iron sword, and I got most of the combining done. Now I do need a few more levels to finish this off, and it was also at this point where I finally started starving, and that got me the trophy for an iron belly. And then I spent the rest of the day collecting a bit more wood. I was able to get myself enough levels and make myself the looting free sword on day 24, and now it is time for me to return to the Nether. I very quickly got returned to Sender as well, which was quite nice, and I also found myself a bastion. Now I was hoping to get myself a netherite upgrade because I'm willing to get myself some netherite. I'll have to settle with some big step, woo! But that's enough dilly-dallying. I'll need to find myself a warp forest and get myself some ender pearls. And so I set off for a long journey. A journey that ended the next day, but sadly it was quite an unsuccessful journey, especially with my pickaxe about to break, so I'm willing to quickly head home and make myself a new one. Though I returned back to the Nether on day 26 where I actually very quickly found the warp forest. I should have just gone the other way from the start. I also want to point out something about looting in bedrock. Sometimes it just doesn't work whatsoever, and sometimes it works spectacularly. Like, I killed 3 endermen on the bounce and got nothing, but then I killed 2 endermen back to back and got 7 pearls from both of them. Like, I don't understand how this works. But with all 15 pearls, I can get back and head home. And when I returned home on day 27, I played myself some big step, whoa! Even got myself a trophy, isn't that nice? I then bought myself some arrows from the villager, and then returned yet again to the Nether. My dreams of killing the ender dragon as early as possible are still alive, but to do that I am going to need to get myself some blaze rods. And thanks to looting free, not only did I actually get myself some blaze rods for this, but I actually got myself a free wither skull, which is quite nice, don't mind if I do. I returned home, made myself some eyes of ender, and then I headed out into the world. Fun fact for you Java boys watching, strongholds in bedrock always seem to spawn underneath a village for whatever reason. Quite interesting if I do say so myself. Anyway, I found myself the stronghold, found myself the end pot, and I am ready to... Wait, what's that? Loading death montage number 2. Oh god, no! Well, I think we can all agree yet again that was miserable. At least I was able to pick myself up a few trophies along the way. I returned back to the overworld on what I believe was day 28. I did take a quick pit stop to grab some books from the library, and it was night as I was leaving the cave, so I decided to take a quick nap again.
What the?
And then on day 29, I returned home. Yeah, that pretty much summed up that day. And on day 30, I used myself a grindstone, got a trophy for it, and then used all the levels that I picked up from the dragon to enchant my gear really good. After that, there is now a trophy that I need to get where I need to dye 4 pieces of leather armor, all different colors, so I headed out looking for different colors. Lucky for me, there was plenty of flowers and cocoa beans around, so I was able to get all 4 colors by night. Weirdly enough, though, they wouldn't actually color themselves in a crafting table. I found that quite bizarre. It does turn out, though, on day 31 that if you want to color anything in this game, you actually need to use a cauldron for whatever reason. Point is, I got myself the trophy. I also ticked off 1 pickle, 2 pickle, C pickle 4. Yes, that is its name. And then I collected myself some kelp. Another trophy that I need to get is I need to survive 3 full days on just eating kelp. I want to start that now rather than leave it to much later, so I think I collected myself enough kelp, all things considered. Disaster on day 32 though, my villagers got infected, so rip those boys. There is no time to cry though. I popped into the Nether to grab myself lava, as using lava in a furnace gets you another trophy. I then built myself a sky tower so I could travel over 100 blocks of iron ender pearl, and that was relatively easy. And since it was night by the time I traveled over here, I decided to challenge a skeleton to a duel. I won. Unfortunately though, I didn't get the trophy. Did get overkill though, which was quite nice. On day 33, I decided to see if I could get myself a wool trophy out the way. There's a trophy for getting every single color of wool, so I set out looking for sheep because I'm going to shear them. Actually, getting enough wool wasn't that hard. You actually get quite a few from shearing them. I also then got sad level up without saddling a horse, because why not? After that, I got myself a wolf. I do have to tame 5 in my time out here, so getting 1 is a good start. It was also this night that I was able to get the sniper duel correctly, so that was easy enough. I want to point it out on day 34 that kelp sucks. It really does. Got the charcoal trophy as well, by the way. I then spent far too long trying to figure out how to re-dye a bed. You'd think because everything else needs a cauldron, then you would obviously have to use the bed in a cauldron, but no, that's not how it works. It doesn't explain anywhere in the world how to do this exactly, but it turns out you just have to use a normal crafting table whilst the bed has been made. It was the most infuriating thing ever, but at least I got it. And it was on day 35 where I have been collecting leads from wandering traders over my days, and it was time for me to get myself a caravan of llamas. You need to get 5 llamas to follow you in a caravan, which was relatively easy enough. The real question is, if it was so easy, why did it take me 10 minutes and why are we now at night? Also, spinning drowned. Must be having a dance party or something. I went back to dye collecting on day 36. Lucky again that there is again plenty of flowers around me, so it wasn't too bad to get every dye that I needed. It did take me an extra day to get every color that I needed. I then get back home and started coloring every wool. I don't know why this was such a slow process, and I was still doing it on day 38, or was it 39? Honestly, keeping track of the days at this point is quite hard. It also took me until the night again where I did see a pillager attack, and I accidentally got myself bad omen. So charging into the village with no thoughts in my brain at all, I accidentally triggered a raid. Or not. So basically I actually slept on day 40 and that somehow stopped the raid from happening. I have no idea why this would be, but hey, we're moving on. I don't know if this is a bedrock thing, but hey, the raid's gone and I'm okay with that, weirdly enough. And it was at this point that I wanted to finish off the extra trophies that I needed to get in the end. That includes respawning the dragon, so I'll have to go and get myself some span. Also refound the pillager outpost where I was able to yet again get bad omen. Now I do feel that some of you have lied to me on day 41 because I have been told plenty of times that whenever I need to collect a large amount of string, I can just shear the web, put it into a crafting table and get myself 9 string. Unfortunately, that just straight up doesn't work. And again, I've been told by a lot of people, especially in my comment section, that it should work. I guess I'll have to do the old-fashioned way of breaking it with a web, with a sword. You know how it is to get 1 string at a time. Luckily, this is a mine shaft, so there will be plenty of string in here. I was able to get over a stack, which I'm fairly confident that should be enough for me to make all the scaffolding that I need, so it is time for me to head home where I got another raid going. Except this time, it just stopped itself. I'm not really sure why exactly it stopped itself. There is a couple of villagers still here, but yeah, I don't know why. It just stopped itself. Day 42 and I finally got myself the scaffolding achievement. I only had to build to the build limit, which wasn't too bad. I also began my very first Haven Hand Quarry, patent pending. I'm gonna start myself a hole digging business over here. Basically, you have to fill a chest with cobblestone, and so I just started mining away pretty much. Took me until day 45, but I was able to fill the chest. And during that time as well, I was also able to get the kelp trophy, so that's 2 birds with 1 stone. I then found myself a pumpkin because I wanted to get a trophy using that one, and then I slept to day 45. Wait, what? Anyway, I went to go and do a raid at the nearby village, but unfortunately for me, to cut it short, well, I just failed the raid. I accidentally killed all the villagers here. I was able to pick up a couple of totems along the way, which will be used, but I will have to redo the raid a little bit later. Luckily, there is that pillager outpost so close. There is some good news, though. I got myself a trident this day. So on day 46, I worked out that I have 53 trophies left to go. You'd think in 54 days, I'll be able to get them all, so we shall see. I did make myself a conduit, but I'm willing to activate it at some point. I'm willing to go get myself some prismarine, and if I'm gonna go and get myself some prismarine, there is actually a couple of trophies I could tick off here at the same time. Basically, one of them is that if I buy myself a map from a cartographer villager and go to the structure that is located, then I will get a trophy for that. So if I do that with an ocean monument, then I will get a trophy for an ocean monument among all ocean monument trophies. In total, I think I can get about 6 trophies by doing this, so let's start by getting myself some wood because I'm willing to do myself a couple of trades. Fun fact for you on day 47, did you know that normal looking villagers in Bedrock can be nitwits? I know, that's just about as stupid as it could get. I also bought myself a couple of maps from this villager as well. It is actually going to be something that I need to do for later as well. I did think of a very quick way to actually speed this up was to actually do myself a raid. I need to complete a raid as it, and yeah, this seems like the best way to do it. By getting myself hero of the village, it should give myself some better trades, which also ticks off another trophy. And so I started the raid on day 48 and carried it on until day 49. The only thing that's really worth noting is that I did pop a totem, which did get me another trophy, but it was victory victory for your boy. I could celebrate by taking myself a quick nap, and it was on day 50 where I got enough trades to get the map that I needed. Just want to point out that I did get a trophy for making a trade at the lowest possible price, so that's fantastic. Willing to go get myself a compass though, so I very quickly ran home, got myself one, and then I bought myself the Ocean Monument map. The last thing that I did today was I got myself some Riptide, so I could do myself a barrel roll. Now you think with the map in my hand on day 51 I would go straight to it, but no. Instead I decided to go to the end and get all the end stuff out of the way. I went into the portal. Want to point out the broken mechanics of looting again, where I got 4 ender pearls from 4 endermen, which sounds relatively normal, but when I tell you that from the first 3 endermen I got 0 of them, and yeah, this apparently sucks balls. And then I went into the outer end. It only did take me until day 52 for me to actually get myself to the end city, got myself an elytra, picked up a dragon head, and got myself some shulker shells. The last trophy I need to get here is to float 50 blocks high using the shulker shell shots itself. Now in Java Edition you can actually cheese this. As soon as you get shot by a shulker shell, then you can basically use an ender pearl to teleport away and that will give you the trophy. Sadly in Bedrock that doesn't work, and it did take a couple of attempts, and boy did I take a lot of pain in the process, but I was able to get it, so we can now head home. And I returned back home on day 53. I fixed my sword because it was close to breaking. I made myself a shulker box where I named it in an anvil to get myself another trophy. Very worthy, I know. And on day 54 I returned back to the end for the last time in this video because I need to kill myself the dragon for a second time. Not only do you need to respawn the dragon for a trophy, but there is actually a trophy for killing a mob wearing that mob's head. Now most normal people would probably just get a wither skeleton skull and do it that way, but I ain't no normal boy, and so I re-killed the dragon whilst wearing a dragon head. I also want to point out, when you kill the dragon for the second time, you actually still get all the levels that you did the first time, which is really nice. Now on day 55 I tried to get myself channeling on my trident. Why, you may ask? Well, simple. I need to kill a mob whilst wearing the mob's head, and wait, I just did that. What the heck? After realizing my stupidity, I went to go and take on the Ocean Monument map. Lucky for me, it really wasn't that far away, so I was able to find it relatively quickly and pick up the trophy. Now a new issue did actually occur once I got here. Another couple of trophies that I need do require me to kill at least one of the Elder Guardians here. Now there's 2 ways for me to potentially get into the Ocean Monument here. Firstly, I could break the roof and then just go in that way, but unfortunately with the mining fatigue, it's not going to be easy for me to do that. Second way is for me to basically go straight through the front door, find myself the Elder Guardians the normal way, but unfortunately I can't breathe down there very well, so I am actually going to need to get myself some water breathing potions if I'm going to do that. So for the time being, I'm going to head to the nearby village that's very close to me. I did actually get the last pillager related trophy where I rang a bell with the mob inside of the village, and I thought on day 56 that instead of going to get water breathing, I could just use a milk bucket once I get mining fatigue and clear myself that way. Usually this would work perfectly fine on Java, however Bedrock that doesn't let you happen. I tried this about 3 or 4 times and failed every single time. Seriously, here's me trying again the next day and still failing. It really wasn't a good time. At least I can give myself a fish to a dolphin and get myself another trophy. Now I thought the milk bucket method just wasn't going to work for me, so I have to think of another way to do it. I did actually pick myself up a pufferfish on the way back, so in theory I should just make myself water breathing and do it that way. I did take a quick nap at night, which of course carried on day 57, and you'd think now I'd just make myself some water breathing potions and go in that way. Of course not. I'm going to do it 007 style and use this piece of TNT instead. In theory, if I can cover all the water around it, then I should be able to just blow up the roof and go in that way. I of course failed to do this unfortunately, so yeah, this wasn't going to work either. However, for some weird reason, the game was feeling a bit silly, a bit goofy, as after I drank myself the milk bucket, I was actually able to break myself the roof in. Of course, it would work on about the 10th attempt, why wouldn't it? Anyway, I was able to kill myself an Elder Guardian, which got me a trophy. I then picked up the sponge, which was really good, and I also found myself an ocean ruin on the way back, so that's another trophy done. And after using the cat as a blanket, I got myself another trophy when he brought me something the next day. Oh, look at that, it's day 58. It really wasn't that hard to actually add a day onto the day counter, I know, shocking. Now, despite me clearly having Nether wart in this chest right here, I unfortunately didn't see it, and so I returned back into the Nether to go and pick myself up some Nether wart. Despite this mistake, this actually was a blessing in disguise. Not only did I get myself a couple of diamonds, I actually picked myself up a wither skull. And not only did I get myself a couple more diamonds, and after that actually finding myself some wart, I of course picked up a 3rd wither skull, which means I don't actually have to go hunting for wither skeletons at all during this video. That's fantastic. I also found the wart in the chest at this point. Isn't that fun? I then returned to the Ocean Monument, drank the water breathing potions, took out the 2 Elder Guardians, and then I pretty much just have to wait for the mining fatigue to go away. Once that was done though, I picked myself up 30 pieces of prismarine, and yeah, we can finally head home. I straight up skipped day 59, so here we are on day 60. Don't know why. I dried myself a sponge, and then I needed to get myself a suspicious stew. You see, I have a super special guest coming to join me very, very soon, but for him to join, I do need to get myself some suspicious stew. So I started searching sunken ships, hoping to be able to find one. We're going to be building for a little while here, aren't we? On day 61, I found myself a new sunken ship, got myself a trophy for finding a sunken ship, not like I found one about 60 days ago, and then I found myself a buried treasure map. Now, I don't know why I did this, but I wasted 5 minutes of my life actually looking for the treasure map. There's 2 reasons why. Firstly, I thought that you could get suspicious stewing treasures, which I don't actually think you can, and secondly, I was hoping to get the trophy from searching for the hidden treasure, something that I literally got 60 days ago, and yeah, after 5 minutes I didn't even end up getting the treasure, so it was a real waste of time. I of course took a nap, which of course carried on day 61, so on 61.2 I found more water. So yeah, very good day. I found myself a new sunken ship on day 62 that actually had suspicious stewing, which is fantastic. We can finally head home. Are you ready for the most exciting part of the video on day 63? After successfully making myself a conduit on the first try with no problems, I stood next to it. Yep, you have to spend an entire day underwater without resurfacing, and there's pretty much nothing that I can do right now, so it is just a waiting game. Good news though, my special guest is here to join. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babe bros and non-binary souls, I introduce you to Sugar Puffs. Yes, it's my alt. I don't know, I just wanted to hype it up. There's a couple trophies that you need to get by giving another player something, so I gave Sugar Puffs 1 diamond, I gave Sugar Puffs 1 suspicious stew, and then I murdered 1 Sugar Puffs. I didn't get a trophy for murdering him, but it was just fun to kill me. Oh, I understand why people want to do it all the time. A good 15 minutes later, or on day 65, just trust me, the maths make sense, I was able to sleep with the fishes. Honestly, there was a really good host, I can't complain. 5 stars on Yelp. An equally as difficult trophy that I also got was cooked and ate a rabbit. Challenging, I know. But to actually work on a difficult trophy, I need to do myself a map room. Basically, I need a 3x3 wall that is filled with completed full maps. This is going to be a pain, but luckily I have myself the elytra so I can fly myself around a little bit. But this is where I learned of Bedrock's biggest fault. The reason why Java is forever superior to Bedrock is simply because you can't put fireworks in your offhand. Whoever thought of that Mojang needs sacking. Sack him, get rid of him. I spent the next 3 days faffing about trying to get as much of the maps done as I could, but it was such a hard thing for me to do. I kept making duplications of map, I kept making mistakes, I kept running out of maps to actually use, so I had to go out and get myself some sugarcane to make myself new maps. The thing that actually made this so difficult is that in Bedrock Edition you can make a map that doesn't actually have a person on it. If you want to do that, you need to actually get yourself a compass, which I just didn't have, so it was just a bad time all around. At least I was able to end day 69 by actually curing myself a villager, sort of. I just gave him the golden apple and I got the achievement, why not? And then so I decided on day 70 that I was gonna do a couple of more faffy achievements to take myself a break from the maps. Let's start by getting pigs to fly, a classic of Minecraft, making a pig take fall damage whilst riding it. It was simple enough. I then bred some pandas. I got another trophy, that one. I mean, I did have to lead them to each other when they was at like the opposite sides of the bamboo jungle, but I still was able to get it. But it was on day 71 where I redid the maps. I think the problem is the top left map. I don't think that's correct, so I'm going to try and fix that. I'm not joking when I tell you this took about 6 attempts to get the right map. I kept accidentally making duplicate maps. What made it even worse is that I still didn't have any sugarcane, so I still had to go out and get myself some. But it was on day 72 where I finally got it right. Or did I get it right? It wasn't getting the trophy for some reason. I was really concerned. But you look closely at the top middle map, just at the top right, there's a little 6 pixels that haven't been cleared. So I quickly cleared those, took the map back, put it in, and I finally got map room. That was such a disastrous trophy, but I finally got it. And then I fished. I have to get myself some cats, so yeah, it's fish. On day 73, I realized there was still a couple of Nether related trophies that I needed to get. So I need to go and get myself some magma slimes to make myself a fire resistant pot. And I also need to go and unlock every single Nether biome, so I went and found the last biome, got myself hot tourist destination, and I was also able to get myself some magma slime. I then changed it to day 75, because why not? And after sleeping, I changed it to 76, so the easiest 3 days I've ever done in Minecraft. Anyway, I made myself some fire res, took the nicest warm lava bath that I've ever done. I then enchanted my fishing rod to get lure 2 and started fishing away. I need to tame about 20 cats in my time. They'll only be my friend if I'm able to feed them fish. Kind of sounds like my dog, I'm not gonna lie. And so I did some more fishing. To sum up day 77 for you, I fished a little, then I saw myself a donkey and thought, oh, I need to get a mule for a trophy, and then I did nothing for 5 minutes. Yeah, that about nails it. At this point on day 78, I had about 26 trophies left to get. Some were very easy, some very difficult, so let's get moving and get as many as we can. First things first, I befriended an ocelot. Did I need to kill it? maybe would get in the way of the 20 cats that I need to get, so let me go ahead and breed the few cats that I already have. I really did my pickaxe on day 79 to hopefully get an efficiency on breaking pickaxe. Well, I'm halfway there. The plan is to get as much netherite as possible, but sadly this was actually really difficult to do without unbreaking, as though I was able to get 4 pieces of ancient debris. Unfortunately for me, without unbreaking, my pickaxes was going to break, and so I'll leave it for the time being and hopefully come back later, where I did run into a smallish problem. A ghast accidentally knocked out my portal and I don't have a flint and steel on me, so I'm kind of trapped in here. However, using my giant massive brain, I realized I could just pop into the fortress and search some chests to find myself flint and steel, and we out. I went straight back into the Nether on day 80. I wanted to get myself some golden nuggets so I can make myself some golden apples, and thanks to the fortune, this actually went pretty quick. I still needed to get myself the mule achievement, so I went to find myself some donkey and horses. I did get myself distracted as I needed an egg. You see me and these chickens? Yeah, we're gonna sit in this hole for a little bit. It took about half of day 81, but I was able to get the egg. I found a horse. Getting across the lake was a little bit of a pain, but I was able to figure out how to do it. And I found myself a donkey on 83. Why are we finding a donkey on 83? What happened to 82? Nevertheless, I made myself a mule, and then I went digging. I needed to get myself some iron, as I needed to get myself a couple of buckets. Luckily, thanks to fortune, it didn't take long at all. And so on day 84 with the buckets, I got myself to a cow, grabbed myself some milk, and for some weird reason, I thought I missed it. So here we are on day 85, where I baked myself a cake. Now I need to get myself some frostwalker, as I need that for another trophy. So I grabbed myself a lectern and headed back out into the world. It took me a whole 3 days to actually find myself a new villager. I know it was an absolute pain, but now that I actually have the village, let's be honest, this is probably going to take a minute for me to get Frostwalker, so I'm just going to have to be patient. And oh, second time, isn't that nice? I did, however, forget to bring the books or the emeralds, so yet again I am having to head back to my little island. I was back on day 89 where I got myself the book. I did have one little plan though. This was the village that actually had the stronghold underneath it, so I decided that if I quickly pop into the end, I can actually probably very quickly get myself 30 levels to do myself another enchant. So I popped into the end, killed myself a couple of endermen, and got myself the 30 levels that I needed. The stupid part of this is when I jumped into the overworld, I actually got put at the world spawn again, where there was some levels. I think from the second time I killed the dragon, I picked up some levels here, and well, now I just have 40 levels, so that's nice, I guess. And it was on day 90 where I enchanted my pickaxe, getting myself Silk Touch, which actually I'm going to need for a future achievement, so that's really good. I also added Frostwalker to my boots, and now I'm going to have to find myself a deep ocean, because that is the requirement for this trophy. Basically, you just have to walk across a deep ocean with Frostwalker, and yeah, I've been running around for 10 minutes. I've not been able to find myself a deep ocean, which was a little bit annoying, but hey, what can you do? On day 91, I knew it was now or never to fight myself the wither, so I made myself some regeneration potions. I don't know what the animals are doing next to me. I grabbed myself the wither skeleton skulls, and I also made myself a powerful bow. I think I'm about ready to go. And on day 92, I'm gonna go and fight this wither, and wait, let it go? This is a deep ocean biome. How is this a deep ocean biome when yesterday's deep oceans were deep ocean? I give up. Bedrock sucks. Now, for all you Java players who have never fought the Bedrock Wither, let me tell you something. It is so much more difficult compared to the Java one. It was actually quite fun and a nice change of pace to have. The only problem was I forgot to check my arrow count before I started this fight, and well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick dash for it. Now, lucky for me, that Wither isn't going anywhere, so I'm able to quickly sneak back home, get into the Nether, where I did try to set up a trader, but unfortunately, I don't think villagers can accept trades to the Nether, so instead, what I'm going to do is bring him to the overworld and trade a bunch of arrows. Alright then, let's do round 2. And so on day 93, I found the Wither again, and loading death montage free. Oh my god! And so I did it. It wasn't easier, but admittedly it was quite fun. I really appreciate having this wither fight. The biggest issue that I had was it destroyed my Silk Touch pickaxe, which did ruin any caving or future trophies achievements that I needed with Silk Touch. And with 6 days left, I think it's very clear that I'm not going to get all the trophies at this point, but I can't call myself the Pack Master. I got myself the Pack Master if I don't even have the Pack Trophy to get myself a bunch of wolves. And so I headed out into the world with a bunch of bones looking for some wolves. Did it take 3 days for me to get the last wolf? Yes, but here we are on day 97 where I got myself the trophy. And with the dogs done, why don't we see about getting the cats done? You need only 5 wolves, which is really simple, but you actually need 20 cats, so this one is going to take a minute. After a tactical death on day 98, I started fishing again. really cutting this one close. On day 99, I headed out. I had a decent amount of cats, so I just need to hurry up and hopefully get myself the rest of the cats. And though I did get myself a couple more, it was on day 99 that I slept to day 100, but I didn't have the trophy yet. Now, I'm not sure if I should have stopped here because I got to day 100, or if I should wait until the day 100 trophy, but for the time being, I'll carry on. There is a small chance I got the earlier days wrong when I was skipping days, and so I was able to get myself a couple more cats, but sadly, it wasn't the amount of cats that I needed, and yet again, I slept on day 100. Still no trophy on day 101, but like I say, it is fine because I have been collecting days together, so I was still running around looking for cats. That being said, I was definitely concerned when I didn't have the trophy by day 103. I know I've been skipping a couple of days, but I've also been joining days together. I should have the trophy by now. So I did a little bit of research. Now, the 100 days trophy does require you to survive 100 days in Minecraft. However, that's 100 days and 100 nights, aka 33 hours. At this point in time, I had only done 21, which means technically speaking, even if I didn't skip the nights, I could have got this, but unfortunately for me, that's too much time, and I said I would do it in 100 days. And so, the journey ends here. Out of the 109 trophies that I needed, I only had 17 left over. Some of them were quite difficult to get that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get them, but it was quite a fun adventure nevertheless. I thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.